the man discovered a strange oil painting. The paint on it seemed to be still wet. Curious, he reached out and touched it. But when he got home, he found that the paint wouldn't wash off no matter what. The tired man didn't pay much attention. However, when he woke up the next day, he saw that the area of the paint had spread, and he could faintly hear a noise coming from his fingers. He hurriedly asked his roommate to check, but the other person didn't hear any sound. The man thought he was overthinking, so he went to the laundry room to get some detergent and washed again. This time, it still didn't work. As he was thinking about how to deal with it, he saw a cleaner waiting outside. After the cleaner saw the man's fingers, she hurriedly told him to cut off the yellowed fingers. The man was shocked and quickly left. He complained about this to his roommate. Both of them just laughed it off. However, the next day, he found that his entire palm had turned yellow. What's worse, a harsh noise kept coming from his hand. The man remembered what the cleaner had said. He decided to cut off his hand, but he never mustered the courage. Angry, the man rushed into the corridor to question the cleaner. The cleaner quickly explained to him. It turned out that she had seen this painting 20 years ago. At that time, the paint on the painting was also wet. She not only touched the oil painting, but also played a prank by smearing the paint on her sister's face. Later, the paint spread wider and wider. To be on the safe side, she cut off her own fingers, but her sister wasn't so lucky. In the end, she disappeared without a trace. Until a few days ago, this painting appeared again. She accidentally saw her sister in the painting. The smart woman realized what the problem was. The man planned to destroy the oil painting directly. The cleaner tried her best to stop him. During the struggle, her ear was stabbed. Realizing he had made a mistake, the man ran away quickly. But after a while, he found that the noise around him was getting more and more harsh. At this time, the man's arm had turned completely yellow. The scenery around him was the same as in the painting. Could it be that he had entered the world in the painting? Suddenly, the man saw the cleaner's sister. He hurried to chase her, but when he ran over, he found the woman was gone. Then the harsh noise rang out again. Eager to get rid of all this, the man finally decided to cut off his arm. At the same time, the roommate found that the man was missing. He accidentally saw the oil painting too. There was an armless figure added in the painting. The paint was still dripping down. The roommate curiously touched it. Looking at the paint on his fingertips, and thinking of the familiar figure in the painting, he felt that something was wrong. A few days later, the cleaner stood in front of the oil painting. She showed a strange smile. It turned out that another figure had been added in the painting. The man wore a collar around his neck. He was kept like a hunting dog. Every time the collar was removed, Danny's eyes changed. He charged forward like a fierce dog, knocking down all enemies, with no trace of humanity. He was like a pain-ignorant beast, even able to dodge bullets at close range. His boss was a moneylender. When someone refused to repay debts, Danny became his debt-collecting machine. As a reward, he would get a strip of meat. When they returned to the basement, they found Danny was injured. The boss's subordinate threw a roll of gauze, told him to treat the wound himself, and then ignored him. An iron cage was Danny's home. After happily finishing his canned food, he started practicing with the punching bag. Under Danny's heavy punches, the bag was torn open. He caught the sand with apology, then opened a book. When he saw the picture of a piano, he froze completely. Blood dripped down his forehead. He turned to look at the gauze nearby, but instead of bandaging himself, he used it to repair the punching bag. As Danny's fame spread, the boss's debt-collecting process became simpler. Just by removing his collar, even without Danny attacking, debtors would repay obediently. But on this day, they met a tough guy. He knew Danny well. He would only attack once the collar was removed. So before the moneylender could take off the collar, he launched an attack. The boss and his men were badly beaten, while Danny stood aside watching everything. At this moment, the boss struggled free, quickly removed his collar. Danny's eyes changed instantly. He rushed into the crowd, attacking those attackers. In the blink of an eye, he took down all enemies. The boss successfully collected a large sum of money. They went to collect debts elsewhere. This time, they came to an antique shop. The boss told him to wait outside for orders. While waiting, a piano caught his attention. Danny walked forward slowly, pressed a key, listening to the melodious piano sound. He seemed to be startled. At that moment, a blind piano tuner walked in. He greeted Danny warmly, let him sit in front of the piano, and taught him how to play. Danny, lost in the music, suddenly remembered something. He rushed into the warehouse. The boss and his men were being beaten again. Because Danny didn't hear the boss's signal, he was locked in the cage as punishment. On this day, they went out to collect debts as usual, when a truck suddenly rushed out, crushing the boss's car. Then 3 killers got out of the truck, spraying bullets with machine guns. It turned out to be revenge from an enemy. After the killers left, Danny crawled out from under the boss's body. He had no idea where he could go.